Am I live? Hello? I am live. How we doing? How we doing? We're here today to talk about the worst raider, well, traders in Arc Raiders, baby. It's gonna be fun. So we're here. It's Tuesday, so we're gonna be doing our tier list Tuesdays for Arc Raiders, and today we're doing traders. We're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be ranking them specifically with like who's the most annoying. That's our game plan. That's our game plan. We'll see. All right, time to freeze. Gotta turn off my heater because it's so loud. It's so loud. So yeah, we're gonna be doing Raiders. Should be fun. And then probably afterwards, we're going to do some actual just playing the game. So look for that. Should be fun. I don't know how long this stream is going to be. Probably a shorter one. But I do have some things in mind. All right? So it's not just a simple yap about stream. I mean, it is. But we got some, you know, you got some opinions involved. But you also got some objectivity. You know, we're going to be trying things out on the fly as we do this tier list. Should be fun. Should be fun. Should be exciting. Yeah, we're talking about the real facts, the real discussions. What's the best weapon? Get that out of here. What's the best arc? Who cares? We're talking about the trader. Yeah. Who is our least favorite trader? Can you guess mine? Bet you can't. There's not a lot of traders, as we'll get into it real quickly. But it might surprise you what I put where, you know? Let's just say, you know, you might be curious where I put Lance. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But we'll have to see. Because, like, I have some ideas involved, but then we're going to do some things that might, like, influence my thought process, okay? I am getting the game up because we are going to need the game. We are going to need the game. Let me see if I have everything ready. I think I do. Okay. I just gotta do last second things. Also, new outfit just came in the game, so we could look at that real quick. We'll probably do that afterwards, actually. As if I'm doing it right now. Like, come on, what am I doing? All right, should we jump in? Tier list time? I think tier list time. Let's jump in. So let me go over there. The game should pop up, but also, okay, we got game, and then boom. Tier list, baby. Here's our tier list. We do have our 5 traders here. We're going to be going from left to right. So we're going to be doing Tien Win, Lance, Apollo, Shawnee, and Celeste. Okay, we're saving Celeste for last because I think Celeste is like the one people look at the most. I'm like, oh, this is the character. Also, can I make this? It's like barely not on the screen and it's kind of bugging me. Well, how's that? Does that look good? Is it off? Are we okay? I think we'll be fine. Okay, this should be fun. Okay, let's, as always, go through the tier list and talk about the different tiers. As always, we got A, B, C, D, and one individual gets to be in S tier. We only have one that we dedicate in S tier. There's just one individual's in A tier will get bumped up as S tier. I don't know if it really applies here since there's only 5, but we'll see. Because we're talking about the most negative, the most annoying trader. While it's normally just a trader ranking, it's going to be more flipped, all right? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We wanted them to keep it in mind flipped. So if you really like a raider, you want it to be probably low. Probably low, all right, to keep it simple. And then, obviously, high up means they're the most annoying. Got it? Got it? Because normally it's the other way around, and I don't want people to get confused now, okay? Okay? Simple? Okay. So A tier means they are very annoying. I hate interacting with this trader because of, as we're going to get into it, voice lines. I don't like their appearance. I don't like what they're selling, or I don't like their quest. How about that? Quest, we're not going to be talking too much because I didn't like full-on separate whose quest is what, because that's more of a quest type of tier list, which might happen in the future. We'll see. B tier is, this is pretty annoying. I don't want to deal with this, but it's fine. It might have some stuff I like. So it's like I'm going to interact with this, but I don't like interacting with this trader. But it's like, it's fine. It's whatever. C is when it starts getting better. This is when it starts pushing into positives. Of like, okay, I like interacting with this trader, or they give me some good stuff I like their voice lines, I like their vibes, yada yada. And then D tier is obviously, they're good. It's a good trader. I like this trader design, I like it, it's good, I have no problems with it, right? Obviously. I'm gonna yap about it more and more. And obviously S tier is the most annoying out of all of them, okay? Got it? Got it. Are we gonna have one in each category? Maybe, but maybe not. We'll see. Let's jump on in. Very first one we're gonna be talking to is Tian Wen. In some regards, one of the most interesting traders. Just by the fact that you only get to see like her little slit. You don't get to see all of her because it's just her peeking out. And be like, I don't trust you. And then her quest kind of like also influence that of like, oh, I don't trust you, but maybe you could trust me with some shady work. She has some shady quests. It's kind of interesting. You're like sabotaging. It's weird. Let's go to her spot. Tian Wen.
I'm not opening this door. Just tell me what you want.
That's Tian Wen. She likes to yap. She's a little sketchy. I guess before we go further, what I should be doing is what I'm planning on doing every one. So let's go to people. Let's go to Tian Wen. This is why I should have been here. My bad. So yeah, Tian Wen, technical mastermind with questionable customer service. Questionable. Some might say it's too harsh. Some might say it's annoying. Some might say like, come on, like really? Do you think I'm not gonna? If I'm gonna shoot you, I can shoot you through the eye hole. I guess if you see me doing that, you have more chance to duck or whatever and be safe. But either way, let's click it on. All right, Tian Wen. You know, I don't really remember when she showed up. One day she was just there, holed up behind a dead-bolted door, setting up shop, said Celeste. We'll get to her last, because she seems to be the most main character leader. I don't know, we'll find out. Let's read her lore, though. Her lore. Technical mastermind with a cutthroat personality, Tian Wen conducts most of her business from behind a bulletproof door, hidden away in the dark alley off the piazza. Okay. Her mastery in crafting high-quality firearms has earned her fame in Speranza and beyond. Rumor has it she doesn't think too highly of raiders. Yet, her trade makes dealing with them an unavoidable reality. Interesting. In addition to running her storefront in Speranza, Tian Wen maintains a quiet influence over Toledo's black market, where many of her more experimental weapons curiously find their way. I'm telling you, she's got some shady stuff going on. Like, come on. We're still reading this. Given how many raiders rely on her supplies for their safety, it's possible that Shani chooses to overlook these more dubious dealings, at least for now. At least for now. Alright, and then we got first wave attack. Tian Wen was only a girl during the first wave of Arc Raiders' arch attacks. Her mother, Major Ava? Was a legendary raider commander who led countless skirmishes in those early battles. When Iva fell at the Battle of Victory Ridge, Tian Wen was left devastated and alone. The unforgiving years that followed taught her a harsh truth. The legacy of celebrated parents won't keep you fed, and it doesn't take long for the next generation to forget who fought for their safety. That bitter lesson became the foundation of her enduring disdain for raiders. My mother died believing in humanity's shared struggle, but I believe in fair exchange. Equivalent exchange? Humans look out for themselves, and I accept that. 20 cans of preserves or equivalent medicine for a gun. No haggling. Okay. So she's been a little done dirty, a little rush wife. You know, her mom, kind of was crazy raider, and kind of explains her little harshness, her little like, hey, I gotta, everybody's kind of looking out for themselves kind of idea. Is what it is. It explains a little bit more of her harshness. Doesn't mean it's good. I don't know if it's fair, but it is cool. She does have a cool lore, which does help a lot. And obviously, when we actually look at what her wares are, she sells guns, she sells ammo. I don't know if you can buy the energy clip instantly. I don't think so. Obviously, I think you have to get to the point, which... Okay, that we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into that because that is gonna be contributing to where these raiders lie. These traders is their voice line when you're in their shop just sitting. What you're listening to, because I'm gonna be honest, it's a major part. Like, let me just pause this. See, I'm waiting. Say your voice line. I'm waiting. Just, okay, this is the important part. When you're sitting in the shop, they'll say a voice line as you're, like, just chilling. And sometimes, it's very annoying. Specifically hers, once we get there. But I guess in the meantime, we'll start yapping, I guess. We'll get back to things. It feels like when you're in-game that, like, the voice lines are way more frequent. Basically, what I was trying to say, though, like, okay, we got energy clips, we got that. Also, like, of the things she's selling, you know? She's selling mods, that's pretty good. You might not be able to make the mods, so that's pretty nice to be able to do it. Obviously, she lets you to buy the Renegade, which is really nice, because maybe it takes you a long time to actually unlock the ability to make a Renegade, so being able to buy the Renegade is pretty good. Same thing with the Hole Cracker, more so. It is limited to 1 per day, which is annoying. That's kind of just a similar thing we're going to find throughout. But it is kind of nice that you could buy some epic stuff from it, of like weapons and whatnot. Including with like the anvil of like you could buy 3 of them and like you don't start off with it. You know, so that's kind of nice. I think this is a great shop, I like it. I like it a lot. Still waiting on that voice line. Usually it doesn't take this long, I swear. It doesn't feel like it takes this long. Now I could just leave and get back in, she'll say a voice line, but that's not... I'm waiting for like when you're just sitting here and what is the voice line I get bombarded with? I'll wait. She tests my bluff. I might leave. She's testing my bluff. Missed the first few? What do you mean you missed the first few? First few what? Houston. There's no other voice line. Hey, you're not any voice line. Alright, we're back to it. Fine. We'll get out.
People sheltered in those camps back then. Used the outposts to send messages and keep an eye on the art movements. Nothing like now.
Nothing like now. Okay, calm down. I will say. Will you say something now? No? Okay. You're not saying anything? Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. Okay. What's she saying?
Need something?
Okay. Well, that one's not bad. No, but we're gonna go with a method here. We're gonna go to Codex, we're gonna read their lore, and then we're gonna go in, see what they say, what's their voice line, and then we'll talk about the shop. All right, how about that? But with that being said, we have our first character. I think, honestly, with Tian Wen, I think she's very interesting. I'm putting her an A. Her lore is very nice. I like her lore a lot. Kind of makes sense. It's very interesting. Like, of the characters you have, it's the one character that's a little bit more standoffish, not as nice. And it's kind of nice. You know, her actual shop she sells you is actually beneficial. It actually helps me because, like, I remember being in that spot where it's like, oh, I could make a Hole Cracker, or oh, I could make a Renegade, and actually be able to buy one from her is quite nice, even though it's one per day. Or even like buying ammo. That's actually very essential. Is not the normal ammo, but like the bombardier cells or whatever, or the bomb cells for Hole Cracker. So important. Be able to actually buy that from Tian Wen. So nice. And energy clip those now. Also, my camera just died. Sick. Let's go. Let me fix it. All right, so that was Tian Wen. She's an A tier, man. She's an A tier. She deserves it. Just got her. Oh, I thought this was the third one based on the pictures on the right. No. Nay. I put them in a weird random order. Deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Okay, so next up, should we save Lance for later? Nah, we'll do Lance. All right, Lance. Let's talk about Lance. This is probably everybody's favorite trader. You know, obviously his aesthetic is cool. He's an android. It's interesting. He's synthetic. He's kind of quirky. He's wearing a light vest. He's a cool guy, and he sells you like medical gear. A lot of things to push him up, right? Obviously. But let's jump into his lore. Let's read about it and then hear his voice line and we'll talk more. Okay? No. Codex. People. Lance. Alright, Lance. I've come across similar models before, though even though that's a rarity. But none of them spoke or carried themselves quite like Lance. I'm not sure what wires got crossed in that metal head of his, but I'd love to find out. Also, he'd fetch her a fortune in the black market, but you didn't hear that from me. Tian Wen. Okay. Little rarity sense. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. Alright. An enigma to Speranza society, and to some extent himself, given that he can't remember his origins. Amnesia. The android Lance runs his famed medical clinic just off the piazza. It is said that the only thing he can't cure is the common cold, though that's never said within his earshot. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Kind of sounds like, oh, he's like the Miracle Man. He could do anything, but then at the same time, can't cure the common cold. And not said it to him. Don't want to hurt his feelings. All right. Okay. Sure, man. I guess. Okay. All right. When it comes to medical matters, Lance is consummate? Consummate? What does that mean? Consummate? Professional. Eagerly focused while wrapping bandages as he is while picking out bullets with tweezers. When it comes to settling on a name for his clinic, however, his composure tends to fall apart very quickly. AKA, when it comes to just like doing things, he can do it. He can do the things, but when it comes to the emotions and feelings and like creative things, like coming up with a name for a place, that's where he struggles because he's a robot, not a person. not a person, you know. So you know. Oh, my camera! Dang it! I don't know. The camera's staying. I will keep fighting for this camera to stay alive. Stay alive. All right, last part. Lately, Lance has sought to cultivate a harmonious feng shui in his clinic, hoping it might soothe his patients while he dislodged shrapnel and other foreign objects from their bodies. So far, his strategically placed throw pillows have not had the intended effect. What does that mean? Let me see the pillows. Hold up. Let me see the pillows. What pillows, by the way? And like, how? I want to know. He's like got them perfectly stacked up, like standing up. It's like very uncanny. People are like, Lance, what are you doing? What is Lance doing? Okay. All right. Let's go hear what he has to say when we visit his clinic. Let's see.
Step inside and let the magic hands of medicine do their work, metaphorically speaking.
Pretty cool line. Not gonna lie, not a bad one. Not a bad one. Compared to some of the other ones he's had. Okay, I will say, and this might become of other things.
How humans sneeze? I've been practicing. How's this? Achoo!
And there it is. And there it is. He had to be the first one. It was kind of cool. You know, again, we get a better idea of his design here. He actually has a gun on him. I think it's just a flare, but still, it's cool. Also, my camera died again. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't think it's my camera. I think it's like, it definitely has to be my what's it called? My camera. I bet you it's some kind of, what's it called? It's me going back and forth on arc rares and off on arc rares. My PC doesn't like it. It's fine. But yeah, you can see his design's very cool. We don't get to see his throw pillows, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. But he had that first cool line. He quickly hit us with another line that wasn't as cool. That was a little bit more, I would say, Deadpool-esque. You get the idea where we're going with this. It's that type of dialogue, and it can be very hit or miss if it's actually funny or not. And I feel like a lot of times he says some weird stuff that I'm like, Lance, I'm just trying to get some medicine, man. I'm just trying to get some medicine. And speaking of which, I will say, of what he's selling, it's pretty essential to traders. I would have to say I visit his shop all the time, and that's because I always run out of shield recharges. I always run out. I don't ever keep forgetting to pick up like power cells from like arc bodies because I just rather pick up other stuff, which means I never have shield recharges when I go to run. So I always have to go over to Lance and buy these. Now, that being said, I feel like I never buy anything else. I will say another cool part is the fact that if you do a free loadout, you go to Lance, you can either trade it in for a combat MK1 and looting MK1. That's pretty good. That's like, ooh, that's so good as a free, like, oh, just the cherry on top of like, there's that. And then obviously like, oh, if you do need something, you can buy some of this stuff. Am I going to be buying a medium shield now? I'm not going to be buying most of this stuff with DPM now. Maybe early on when I don't have any, sure. But I do like what he sells. But it's mostly carried by the combat MK1 / the looting MK1, really the looting MK1. Just the fact that like you go here, you trade it in, you get a free one. So good, so good, so good. So, that being said, talking about Lance, he hasn't done none of his clipper lines. I will say he has said some weird stuff, I'll be honest. He says some weird stuff. One of them wasn't that weird, he was just like, trying to get into a bar with Apollo, and they wouldn't let me in because they said I don't fulfill their no pants policy. Luckily, Apollo got me some overalls, and we were able to go on in. It was something weird like that, and I'm just like, all right, sorry, all right, Lance, my bad. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to get some bandages so I could or get some shield recharges so I could go do another queen run because I just whites. Like, not right now, man. I'm so sorry. He said some weird, I can't remember the line, and I want to remember it so much, but he said something so weird. I was like, it's one of those like moments where he says it, I'm like, are we sure we're cool with Lance? We're sure he's not like gonna be Terminator? You're not gonna start killing us? Like, he said some weird stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't have the facts. You just have to trust me, bro. And with that being said, let's go to the tier list. Where do we put Lance? That being said, where are we putting Lance? I won't lie, some of his quips are really, I don't like his quips. A lot of them are just like actually underwhelming. Like he seems cool, but the more he quips, I'm just like, Oh, I forgot. Tien Wynn's up here. I meant to... Hold up. Hold up. I threw. I said I really like Tien Wynn. My bad. I forgot. I'm doing it opposite. I'm doing it opposite. Remember? We're talking about who annoys us the most. You know what? What am I talking about? We're just doing the tier list normal. We're just doing the tier list normal. God, I'm just going to keep getting confused. Let's just do it normal. Up top means they're good. If they're at the bottom, the trash. We got it? Got it. All right. Got it? My bad. We're not putting Lance up there. He's not that annoying. He does annoy me a lot. And like theoretically, he does annoy me with the fact that I have to keep going to him to get a shield recharge, but that's really on me than on him. His lore is kind of interesting, but it's kind of like so vague and so nothing. I kind of wish there was a little bit more on like, hey, this is like more of like where we saw him at first, him first showing up or something like that. Like a little bit more of like, ooh, what was the reaction of him being around? Like nobody talks about how it's like, oh yeah, he's rare. He's a rare model, but like that's it. Nobody's like, oh, a lot of people were not ready for him or do not trust him. Like we don't get anything, so it's kind of whatever. That being said, I think I have to put him A tier. Still a goated shop. He is interesting in the fact that he's a synthetic. You know, it is what it is. But it's a hard A. I'll say that. I want to put him in B, but we're putting him in A. All right, fine. Next raider, Apollo. Next one, Apollo. Let's just read it up. let's just read it up. Let's just read it up. All right. How about that? Let's not say too much. Let's just go to the codex. All right. Apollo time. Ever-scorched maker of gadgets and grenades. Okay. Apollo. Unlike many here, this isn't Apollo's first settlement. Ooh. He claims to have lived in several, although he is a bit vague on the details. That said, his energy for improvement and his constant cheer do have their uses. Shawnee. Okay, that's a good first sell. Also, my camera died again. Ah! It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I do like that. That's a good start. That's a good start. He's from a different settlement, potentially. That's interesting. That's interesting. But he's always like up like has good cheer. Okay. Apollo runs a store by Speranza's Piazza, selling primarily makeshift grenades and gadgets. Most of his wares are of his own design, but of an inventor of sorts. And though they may seem rudimentary to the untrained eye, they are thoroughly field tested by the most daring raiders. Who is testing these gadgets? I would love to take part. Sign me up. When major expansion projects are initiated, such as freeing up new living space or expanding the tunnel network, he's often designated as one of the foremen. Doubly so if indiscriminate demolition is required. Okay. I don't know about this word being. It just means like, especially if we just need to just blow stuff up. Not crazy where just like blowing up. He's the man. Got it. An avid reader, Apollo enjoys a hard-boiled detective novel. Some say he puts himself at a constant risk of concussion, just so he can forget the grand reveals of the detective novels. He's trying to give himself like brain damage so that he could like, oh man, I want to re-experience this book. It's like, all right, man, I don't think it's that worth it. Maybe, okay, man. I like his lore. His lore is doing a lot. All right. If we're just ranking lore so far, it's above Lance. It's above Lance. I'll just say that. I like it. I like a lot of this. It talks about how expansion he helps out. He's a foreman. Talks about novels, and he might be trying to give concussion and stuff, or at least that's what other people think, which is crazy. Doesn't like to open up and potentially from other settlements. Interesting. I really like that. But that being said, let's talk about his actual shop. All right.
Hello again.
Okay. I think he has some better ones. Let's try that one again.
Hey there.
One more time. You know, maybe we're gonna get something interesting. Something where he's like, ah, this shows some personality. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm.
Still around?
Okay. Whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Okay. He has said some things that are kind of interesting, but for the most part, it's not too much. I will say one thing's important is. Oh.
Most people down these parts are pretty nice. But in a colony this big, you're bound to run into some bad eggs. Just don't let them get to you.
Be optimistic. All right. All right. I like that. I like that. Now, the reason why we're selling the music is because just listen with your ears what you're hearing. Can you tell me what Apollo is doing right now? Okay, this is a bit more of an inside joke than anything else. Like, it's fine. But it is funny that they just kind of did, like, not quite, but it does feel like the Hot Rod meme of, like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm working on this machine, and they're just taking a hammer to, like, a, what's it called, a motor, and just, like, slamming it, just, like, drilling and doing all kind of noises. It's like, dude, he's just going at it with that wrench. He just keeps going at it with that wrench, and so you just have this constant idea. This came from literally my friend Houston just being, like, in the shop, and, like, we were just talking and him going crazy of, like, what's that sound? And then realizing it's just the shop because Apollo's working on something. Very funny. That might be a positive or a negative. I think it's more of a negative, but it's like, what are you going to do? Like, come on. It's just a small little background noise to make it feel, like, actual more immersive. Like, come on. Is it really bad? Maybe. Maybe. Because as I'm sitting here just trying to chill and, like, relax, I'm just hearing this rattling this whole time. And then sometimes he'll yell at me, he'll be like, hey, you still there? And it's like, yes, I'm still here. Trust me, I know I'm still here because I'm hearing, like, ratchets going and you still using your wrench. You need help with that? You just keep, like, trying to wrench something. I don't know, man. Okay. Of his shop, though, I will say the only thing going for him in his shop is the fact that he does sell Trailblazers and a Deadline, especially Deadliners. If you don't have the blueprint, being able to buy ones per day is very nice. Barricades are kind of underrated. People are starting to learn that barricades are crazy good. So, you know, you got some items, some utility, but the big thing is the Deadline. I would say, besides that, though, his shop is kind of whatever. Like, it's underwhelming. What's the point of going here? I don't see an incentive for it. And including the sound design, it just doesn't help the experience at all. I know it's more immersive, so I'm not telling them to change it. But when I'm comparing the two, I'm sorry, Apollo. You just seem busy. I don't want to bug you. You just seem busy. That's all I'm saying. I just think you seem busy. All right. I'll go do the other thing. My bad. Golly. So that being said, where we're ranking Apollo is sadly down into C tier. Honestly, there's a slight contender for him to be in D tier, but what saves him is his lore is kind of sick. His lore might bring him up to B tier, but I think his shop is just underwhelming. The music behind his shop is just kind of like, you're just hearing the rivets and wrenches. And so, like, those just kind of drag it down. Again, the two things going for Apollo is the fact he sells a Deadline and his lore is kind of sick where he actually has, like, what's it called? Where it's like, oh, he's from a different settlement and et cetera, et cetera. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that part. And his voice lines are more, like, optimistic, right? As we saw. That being said, shop alone is kind of like whatever. So I'm putting him down in C tier. I think C is fair. I think C is fair. I think that's a fair spot to put him at, okay? All right. Time for Shani. When you look at your main characters, it is Celeste and Shani. Your main traders as, like, quests is Shani. I think one of the first person you hear is Shani as she's, like, radioing in from the extract. So, pretty big player. Let's see where she ranks. First, we got to go to her codex. Let me get away from the riveting. The ratchet's going. All right, we got Shani. Vigilant watcher of radar screens and protector of the tubes. Protector of the tubes. Yeah. People think Celeste is running this place, and they're not entirely wrong. But what they don't realize is that without Shani, we'd all be toast. No one knows more about Speranza or art than she does. Okay, Paulo. Vigilant, cautious, and dutiful, Shani keeps a near constant watch on the screens in her room. Officially, she's tasked with monitoring any topside threats as well as operation of the tubes and all Raiders' hatches. In reality, there's little in Speranza that escapes her watchful eye. Okay, alright, pretty good start, Shani relies on an array of radar, scanners, and makeshift equipment to map out Ark's behavior. However, the machine's penchant for self-optimization, AI learning, makes it a steep uphill battle, leaving her with precious little time to rest, sleep, or take the occasional deep breath. Okay. This bit has been, alright, whatever. In addition to her equipment, Shani also relies on a network of scouts for first-hand intelligence on surface activity. Unlike many raiders, this select group seldom engages in open combat, relying more on stealth. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I'll say this one's kind of whatever. It's just like, it's more like, hey, she doesn't get sleep or rest. It's fair. Overall, sure. A little bit more on this would have been kind of interesting. This little organizations of like ninjas that she has, that's kind of cool. And obviously being the one who controls all the Raiders hatches is kind of cool, right? That's sick. And we also need to talk about her design. Her design is really cool. You know, I like it. It's unique. I think those are called Fez hats. I have no clue. If they are, still cool. The visor's sick. Cool design. But let's see her as a trader. Listen.
Busy day. Make it quick, all right?
Oh my goodness, she has a gun. Yeah, no. I mean, it's cool visuals. She's obviously always busy. Coffee. The gun's just out about, which is crazy. Okay. My bad. Sorry for bugging you. I will say her like just voice lines are kind of whatever. She just seems annoyed all the time. It's kind of whatever. I will say her shop is kind of interesting. The fact that she uses cred instead of like the normal currency. No. But I will say cred having its actual use now as a shop like spender here is very nice and unique. I like it because it can allow me to always get like looting or maybe some mods, even though it's never is an option. I will say like her items are never necessary items. Like compared to some of the other shops like Lance where it's like, oh, I actually need some of that stuff, or like, oh, a deadline that's like really good. Shop wise is kind of whatever, but like it's more of a cherry on top because it's more like, oh, I have cred and like I don't have decks to spend it on, so it's like, oh, I might as well use them since I just keep getting them for free. And in that way, it's not too bad to like spend stuff.
Still busy.
I will say, compared to any other of the traders, she and Celeste feel like the most quest line. I am curious if I just go to quests on Raiders. There we go. My bad. Kind of wish it would say who you did the quest from. That would have been really nice and helpful, but oh well. Oh well. I do wish, because I did all the quests when I did the expedition last time. I kind of wish it would have all the quests because I did them all. I was kind of hoping they would be all there, but it's fine. It's whatever. Sadly, okay, so it doesn't have the thing I was hoping it would. That's fine. I was hoping it could show like who you got what quest from whom. And that would like help organize it a little bit better for me in this exact moment. Not a big deal, but it is what it is. So,
hey.
It's just, she's fine. I think she's fine. She's good, not bad. She's just fine. So, sadly, that is going to just take her into a C. Like, it's not D. I don't love interacting with her, I'll be honest. She's always kind of, like, busy. So, you know, whatever. Her shop's fine. It's kind of cool that she has, like, a cred system. So, it's, like, it's unique, like, currency for it. So, that's, like, it's giving a need or a use to that. Where it's like, oh, I have all this cred. When am I going to use it? Spend it as Shani. That's kind of nice. I like that. She's usually the one doing quests. Makes sense. The vibe bulb makes sense. Her lore is like, all right, it's fine. She's gonna be C. It's fine. It's whatever. Like, I know B is more fine and whatever, but like, I'm not that crazy on it. Okay, okay. And it's time to talk about the final character. The final character. Let's talk about Celeste. The main show. The one who not entirely runs the show in Speranza. All right, let's talk about her. Oh. Former raider, de facto leader of Speranza, and relentless coffee enthusiast. Not a bad start. Not a bad start. Let's dig further. All right, Celeste. Here's a little secret for you. She collects mugs. I've cataloged 23 of them so far, and her preferred substance are silly print ones. I keep a stash in the clinic to be dispensed for when she has a particular bad day. Lance. Okay. Who doesn't like collecting mugs slash... They cut it out. Sorry. But I was just saying, we've all been there. We all collect mugs here and there, whether we want to or not. As a coffee enthusiast myself, okay, I can relate. Not bad. Celeste was part of the small group that first moved into what was to become Speranza. Steady and reliable people increasingly turned towards her for guidance and meditation, turning her into a pillar of the fast-growing community. Okay, true leader. Overpopulation, political strife, and resource shortages soon became her daily reality. First of all, in the absence of Ark, her fellow raiders began turning on each other. Oh no, don't shoot. My camera died. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. My camera died. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. We're back. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Going forward. These days, she often clashes with leaders from other Toledo neighborhoods and faces pushback from several civilian petitioners who have their own ideas about how Speranza should be governed. Despite it all, Celeste still holds out hope that raiders can once again unite under a single banner in the fight against Ark, though there are a few left that share her dream. Well, a little worrisome. Cap. Celeste was 9 years old when the first wave hit. Left without a home, she soon found her place among a group of raiders who refused to give up the fight against Ark. Though she lost many friends along the way, Celeste persevered and as a teenager took part in the legendary Battle of Victory Ridge. Ooh, she was part of it? Okay. It was there that the last pocket of Ark was finally defeated, bringing the first wave to an end. Okay. Battle-hardened and a firm believer that impossible odds can be overcome through sheer determination, Celeste shifted her focus from fighting to building. Speranza quickly became her main focus, but with rapid growth came inevitable challenges. Okay. Not bad. You know, it's just, she kind of just happened to become the leader, not really was wanting to, but like just nobody else was with the small group, and it just kept growing, and then she got busy with having to run it. She had to be the Hokage, and you know, she's just been doing that. Her being a part of the actual Battle of Victory Ridge is kind of sick. That's kind of sick. We don't get too much of her though. Besides the last part, where it's like, oh, she believes in beating impossible odds, which is like, okay, I can believe that because like she went through that. You know, that's just not. There's a reason why she believes that. But at the same time, like, that's kind of it. We get like that. She obviously is helping out as a leader. And then besides that, like, oh, she also collects coffee. Mugs, specifically. It's like, oh, okay. Interesting. Is what it is. Is what it is. Let's see how that feels when we actually go to her shop.
I don't usually have time to deal with raiders one-on-one, but you're always welcome to swing by and drop off seeds.
Oh, okay. I mean, if it's in your best interest because you get seeds, then sure, it's fine. I will say, I feel like of the different people who say something, her voice lines are a little bit more friendly.
Hey, what is it?
We do a little quick peel.
Hey,
Back again?
I'm all ears.
Yeah, let's get, you know, a little bit more nice. Say the line. One more time. I want another voice line.
Hey there.
That doesn't count. A real one. A real one. One more. Come on. Yeah, all right. My bad. All right. I will say, of her shop, again, it's another unique one in the fact that you use seeds.
They say overwatering is worse than underwatering.
All right. Thank you. All right. I will. Okay. I will say I like that she's like a shop specifically just for seeds, which are something you get from. You just find that either in runs or you get from Scrappy. It's a separate currency. It gives like that's their own one purposes for this. And well, it's nice to get something like complex gun parts, which is pretty essential, or getting like little materials that you might need to craft something. She could be a pretty useful shop, I'll be honest, for like getting those clutch signs. Now there are moments where it's like this, where it's like, I don't really need to buy anything. I'm just gonna sell my seeds, and it's like, okay, that's kind of lame. There's not like a cool weapon or etc. But she does enable you to get those like few little pieces, which is nice. And if you run out of like the bare necessities of a small thing, you can just pump your seed to do it, and just make sure you're not all out of chemicals or etc. So I don't know. I like her as a shop. It's not exciting, but it's pretty good. And as a leader design, you know, there's nothing going on that's like too crazy weird. I kind of wish we could see more of her with the helmet on. See how that looks. If that looks more like almost closer with like, oh, the box art, Ritter art we kind of got. That's fine. It's good. Her shop's fine. It's good. She's more, again, kind of like with Shani, more of a quest giver in some regards, so that kind of makes sense. And, you know, she's trying her best as Hokage, you know? What are you going to do? Sue her? Nah. That being said, I don't think she's going to make it an A tier. Like, her shop's good. Her shop's winning me over, the more I think about it, how important it is. And, like, I'm going to be honest, if I couldn't have any of the shops, what would be the one shop? If I could only keep one shop, what would be the shop I'd keep? Honestly, it might be hers. Probably. It's the most useful. Like, then again, I hit up Lance's probably more frequent than any others, just because, as I said, I always need to go get a shield recharger. But I think it's more essential because, like, I could theoretically just farm some, like, what's called art power cells to make sure I always have shield chargers. But like with Shani or Celeste, her shop is very more clutch of like, oh, I need to get some oil. Oh, let me just buy some with seeds, and like, okay, cool, I can craft this thing. It's very helpful. Everything else around here, I'm kind of not crazy about. I know her lore is kind of cool, but it's just, for some reason, it seems generic, you know? Like, it doesn't wow me. Like, there's no tidbit of, like, in the First War, she did this crazy thing. Like, imagine if it said, like, it said something where, like, in the First Wave War, at one point, she, like, jumped onto a hornet and killed it that way. Like, just did something that added a little extra flair. Like, it's cool that she's in it, but give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more. Her voice lines I'm not crazy about. I'm not excited. It's fine. She's all nice. But she's also like, hey, if you need to take a break, you can take one. It's like, no, I want to play the game. Stop being Nintendo and telling me that I played the game for too long. I need to take a break. No, I'm going to keep playing. I think she's going to be B. She's fine. Her shop is carrying. I'm telling you this. Her shop is carrying. I want to put her in the C's with everyone else. But she's in the B's. Getting carried by the shop. I'm going to be honest. And the fact that she is the, like, quote-unquote leader and, like, the quest giving. It's like, okay, all right, sure. But, yeah. That being said, it's time to decide who is our S tier, who is probably the best trader, my favorite trader. It's Tien Win. It's Tien Win. What do you expect? You think I was going to do Lance? I mean, everybody's going to do Lance. I'm surprised Lance is this high up. I'm going to be honest. His shop is what does it. I'm gonna be honest. His shop does a lot because I actually do use it a lot. It's pretty essential for me as a player. But Tian Wen, I like way more her lore tied in with the usefulness of her shop and the vibes. And it is unique that it's like, okay, we don't know how she looks. She just visors. It's not trustworthy. It's kind of interesting. I kind of like it. I'm here for it as a one character, not like all of them doing it. I'm okay with that. It kind of works. All right? All right. That's the tier list. What do we think? Do we like it? Are we upset that I threw the tier list upside down? I was going to do like most annoying, and then I was just like, oh, I'm just comparing them normally, like who's the best trader in general. And so I was like, I might as well just commit. My bad. I'm going to try to work on that. I'm going to try not to do that in the future. My bad. But yeah, of the traders, I mean, they're all fine. Do we ever get a new trader? No. I don't think we're ever going to get a new trader. That'd be crazy, though. I don't know what you would sell, so it doesn't really make sense. I think there's been mention of, like, there's talk that they might be doing, like, an in-game marketplace. Like, an economy in-game of, like, you could sell your items to other people. Maybe then you would have, like, some kind of trader that represents that. Okay. But yeah. So. Camera died. Perfect time. I'm gonna head out. I was gonna chill and play some Arc Raiders, but because it keeps dying, I'm gonna peace out. I love you guys. Let's get a big zoom in on this grin. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. What a silly guy. I'm working on some more Arc Raider stuff. I'm working on one line. I'm working on next video for the Wheel of Raider. Let me know if you're excited for that down below. I'm gonna be heading out. Jesus loves you. I love you guys too. And man, sometimes you just gotta smile like this guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.